So some customers might utilize build or CI servers that run end-to-end acceptance tests. How could this best be achieved on Azure? Are there any preferred tools? This is an interesting one, actually, because one of the things that was difficult about this talk was, unit testing was quite hard. You could unit test pipeline components, you could unit test pipelines, and you could unit test maps and schemas, but actually orchestrations had to be deployed and run through the orchestration engine. So actually, if you move on to Logic Apps standard runtime, you can actually test those locally because they will actually execute on the function runtime, which you can install locally. So actually, some of the testability is actually a lot better now. I mean, there's still the thing about having to get a build agent that's got all that stack on it. Have you got any thoughts on that, Dave?
Yeah, I've used two tools really in the various Azure projects I've done over the years. Primarily Azure DevOps, integrated with some sort of GitHub repository that you can obviously build your pipeline to do your CI/CD, end-to-end acceptance tests. Again, you might write some sort of automated tests that you run against the deployment. So you might have a pipeline, does a deployment, run some tests. Again, there would primarily be end-to-end tests, like you might have done in BizTalk. But there's other tools such as Octopus Deploy. Again, you could build up a similar pipeline where you do a deployment, execute some tests, and so on. I know Microsoft have done quite a lot of work on this in terms of they're providing mechanisms to allow you to unit test Logic Apps as well. So I don't think we have time to cover that because we've gone over slightly, but there are quite a few options, end-to-end tests as part of your CI/CD pipeline or unit tests of Logic Apps and so on that you can combine into your pipelines as well.
Yes, there's a whole conversation there, but there's a lot of, you've got a lot of possibilities depending on exactly what your CI/CD process is.